One, they don't make themselves the issue. When they're presenting, they're using third party as much as possible. If they're presenting face-to-face with somebody, they're using third party, they're using third party, they're using third party. Even a big shot with their prospects, they're using third party. They don't make themselves the issue. Oh, I'm making $1 jillion, so if you join me, it's going to be great. Because they know that that will short-circuit that person's results. They'll start to have a wrong expectation as to how and why they're going to be successful. So the most successful people use other people. When I talked about that 2006 video campaign, I was on the video. It was a huge disadvantage for me. People would say, hey, I remember, go on an airplane or something, somebody, and sometimes I'm in the mood to prospect and sometimes I'm not. Just not in the mood, I'll be honest. And I'll play with that sometimes. The guy next to me says, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a network marketing professional. What does that mean? Well, I'm in the middle of something right now, but here's a DVD. You can check it out if you want to. You don't have something to watch. We're sitting next to each other in first class. He's like, oh, he pops it in, slowly goes. Okay. I don't have third party now. Now, if I get involved with you, you're going to make me rich. And I mean, it's not as powerful as, leaders, what you'll find, talk to the top leaders, they don't make themselves the issue. They just don't. They use third party. Next. They act as a consultant. A person is trying to navigate their life, and they act as a consultant to that person to help them. So they ask those people questions about what they want in their life, and then they prescribe some solutions in the process. Here's a phrase that I learned a long time ago, and it's absolutely true. It doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. So when it comes to presenting, I used to say, put them in front of me, I'll do it all. And I could close them. Some people say, well, why wouldn't I do that? Because it works. It doesn't matter if it works. Only matters if it duplicates. For freedom in network marketing. So if you're doing everything and it's working, here's what your organization will look like. I'll show you. Throw that up. Here's what you want your organization to look like. An ever-growing group. If you do what works and not what duplicates, here's what you have to look forward to. It's even worse than that. I'll do it this way. Here's your front line. There's their front line. There's their front line. There's their front line. I sponsored 40 people and nobody's doing anything. Well, because you made yourself the issue. That's why. It worked, because you were influential. Why wouldn't you shortcut it? Put everybody in the room, say, I'm about to crush this thing. Line up if you want to get wealthy. Okay, I'm in. They tried that same approach with their people. It did not work. So now they come to you and say, if I put a bunch of people in the room, will you come over? Sure. You get a smaller group, smaller group, smaller group. Flat line. So the pros, it's counterintuitive, because why wouldn't you do something that works? I can go sign them. I can go have lunch with them right now and I can sign them. And I could tell them, look, I'm a stud, I'm a star, you just get around me and you're going to make money. I could do that. You don't think I can do that? I can do that, but I kill them. It's like the butterfly, right? The caterpillar's in the cocoon. If you want to help that new little butterfly get out, so you just take a razor blade and you just barely cut the edge of the cocoon so it can get out a little easier, because you have compassion for the little butterfly. But because it didn't have the resistance, because it didn't have to do it on its own, because you did it for him, it falls out and dies. So you have to teach a process that allows a person to become independent from you as quickly as possible, which means you don't get to make yourself the issue. What the professionals do in presenting, they bring passion, enthusiasm, excitement, and belief. So let me tell you, when it comes to presenting, one of the first things that you need to do, and it'll be difficult for us to do a deep workshop for this entire group, but I'm going to give you some framework for it. One of the first things you need to do is you need to create your story. Your story, because you're going to be telling your story for the rest of your career. What is your story? So let me give you the elements of a good story, because this story is third party. This story will help you. This story will guide you. This story will open doors for you. When you're doing your invitation, you can tell part of your story. Whatever you're promoting, even if you can't defend it, you're going to promote it. One is your background. You know, as you know, I was a doctor, I was this, I was that, I'm, truck driver, whatever. Two, the things you didn't like about your background. Three, how your company or network marketing came to the rescue. And I was so fortunate I found this. And four, your results or how you feel about your future. You don't have to have results for your story to be powerful. So my background is I had 18 jobs before I was 22 years old. I was behind on my bills and my promises, and I had my family, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no college education, and obviously I was scared. I was scared about that. I was scared that my life was going to repeat itself. And I was fortunate to get introduced to the network marketing profession, to be able to give me a chance when the world wasn't giving me a chance, or at least I wasn't creating opportunities for myself. I found a place where I could learn and I could grow and I could do it on my own, and I would get support along the way. And in just a short period of time, I'm now on track to have control and have freedom, and I'm helping others, and I feel good about my life, and I feel good about my direction. 30 seconds. You can say that in every one-on-one. You can say that as a testimonial, your live meeting. You can say that on a conference call. You can say that on a three-way call. You can say that at your company convention. You can say that in every direction possible. But you need to craft it. Your best story. Yeah. He said, he could say, my background is I was a truck driver, and it was the most excruciating situation where I was so unappreciated every single day. I just couldn't imagine something where you'd feel less appreciated than what I was doing. And when he says that, the whole world will go, you know what, me too. Me too. I make my boss look good every single day, and I don't get appreciated. I've been busting my butt every single day, hard work, and I don't get appreciated. I just get more and more pressure. Me too. But then I found a way to escape. And look at me now. I'm out of the truck, and I'm on with my life. And I'm helping other people do the same thing. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. 30 seconds, 40 seconds. It's not a 5-minute thing. 30, 40 seconds. That story will serve you for your whole life. And what you need to remember, what a lot of people forget, including myself, the only story that's valuable is the story prior to network marketing. That's the story that's valuable to the people that you talk to. So for Tiffany, the story is not, here's what happened to me in the last 3 years. The story is, I was in the factory. I was making Smucker's jelly in Memphis, Tennessee. And here's how that made me feel. Here's how I felt about my future. Here's what I saw other people who'd been there for 10 and 20 years longer than me, and I saw the life that they had, and I didn't want that life. So here's what showed up. See, she's moved on. When was the last time you were in that factory? 15 years? August of 2000. So almost 13 years ago. But guess what her most powerful story is now? That story from 13 years ago. That's what everybody relates to. The time when you went from outside of network marketing to inside and what it did for your life. If you got results, talk about them. If you have hope, talk about it. If you've got a future, talk about it. Whatever it is, talk about it, right? Craft your story. I wrote mine out because I wanted my testimonial to have impact with people. And then I told it every chance I could get. I was telling my story, telling my story, telling my story, and it always had those 4 elements. Tell your story to your prospects. Tell your story to other people's prospects. Tell your story on 3-way calls, conference calls, and webinars. Tell your story online, on Skype, on wherever. Tell your story at live events. Become known for your story. Tell it so many times other people will start telling it for you. If other people don't know your story, you got a big hole in your business. Huge hole in your business. They've got to know it and be able to tell it with passion. It could have something to do with your company or network marketing, how your company or network marketing came to the rescue for you to help you escape from that situation. You know, if you've moved on to, multiple companies to the company you're at right now, you don't want to talk about the company that you joined way back when you made that first decision. You want to talk about network marketing allowed you to have freedom. It gave you a vision for your future. It allowed you to escape. See what I'm saying? You got to learn your opportunity presentation. I did his same story, same joke, same everything. I just did exactly what he did. Okay? I changed my name to his name. That's it. It's the only thing I changed. Closed the same way, opened the same way, did exactly, transitioned everything the same way, told the same jokes, the whole thing. And I recorded it again and again and again and again about 5 or 6 times until it sounded okay. Then I put it in my car, I put it on both sides of the audio cassette, and I listened to it 500 times until I had my own little one-man play. It was a one-man show. I rehearsed, I had it so solid that if you said, tell me about the product, I could start in my mind where the presentation started with product, and I could do that section without any problem, exactly word for word. If they said, show me the compensation plan, I could start with that, and I could do it word for word. How do you close it at the end with some urgency? I could do that word for word. Whatever it was, I could do it. You know how much confidence that gave me? I was good in any situation. At any time, at any place. I learned the the opportunity presentation, and I looked for opportunities to tell it. And pretty soon I was the guy being asked to do sections of the local meeting. I was the guy asked to do different things. You got to learn a basic training. You got to learn how to do a good, inspiring, powerful basic training for your group with the fundamentals, but also with some attitude. Your story. Like Mike Sims threw in his story into what he talked about, but still some great basic training, right? He didn't start there. He finished there. An inspirational training to inspire your group. Sometimes they just need to be fired up where you're telling stories and you're doing stuff. Person with the marker makes the money, folks. What's the lesson? Prepare for your moment. Prepare. Put together your talk. You got to decide that you're going to become a pro here. That you can do your story. That you can do your opportunity presentation as good as anybody in your whole company. In a way that lights people up with passion and energy. That you can do a basic training in a way that gets people to take the action that they wouldn't have taken if you hadn't done the basic training. That you, every single one of you, can do an inspirational talk for your team that will give them fuel to go to the next level. You'll be able to do a keynote and be asked to go up onto the stage because the company had heard about you and they want to hear your talk. And no, you don't need an hour. 12 minutes was enough. You could do a lot in 12 minutes if you prepare. So the lesson is to prepare, to be ready, to be awesome, to practice, to rehearse. What Les Brown says, rather be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. Be ready to just get up there and crush. And every single one of you can make a name for yourself if you'll decide to build on this skill.